You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go!
I think when you say yeah, no, like that's like every New Yorker says that. So you get what I'm saying? Yeah, no, I'm like, I get what you're
so
saying.
bum.
I was like, no, yeah, I get what you like. And then I said,
Shut up.
why vote for Trump?
All right, let's get into these rounds because you're a clown.
I'm sorry, I had to. My bad.
All right, so you just recently had a phenomenal battle. So congratulations to you on such a win.
Thank you.
You know, a lot of people were saying 2-1 either way. I guess it would be your preference. I personally, maybe you could call me biased because I'm a Saga fan.
Oh,
but
geez.
you know, facts. So let's get into it. First, I want you to talk about like how you prepared for this. Just like give us some background on this battle and the whole 4 years thing, because I didn't really know that there was something going on for 4 years.
Oh yeah.
You know, so explain that.
So I guess in regards to the preparation aspect, there's a lot more studying than writing for me. I mean, this only happened one other time besides B Dot, and that was JC, because you know JC represents Black Hebrew Israelites. So you're not just battling a regular battle rapper, you're battling their belief and what they, have to say about Christianity. So so with the Kemetic science, the Pan-African movement, I wanted to really like dig deeper into what they represent and kind of find ways I can combat that with the word. So it was a lot of studying, a lot of watching debates, reading up on stuff.
Wow.
It was a lot. So like I would say like I spent 70% of my time studying and 30% of my time writing. So it was a lot. But in regards to the battle, like the reason why I say it's 4 years in the making is because B Dot was making a name off going viral against a dude named Strickland. He battled Daylight. I believe he had Danny Myers as well around that time.
Right.
And his it seemed like the only argument left was against Christianity that he wanted to kind of combat. And
so did he call you out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
4 years ago though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the whole argument was, he had already built up a buzz, went viral a few times, and it was more so about, all right, we want to see how he does against a Christian dude. And at the time, I was the only Christian at the time, or if not the most popular, because I was on URL. So there was like, but he got to do the PG. He didn't want to do the PG. And I'm like, yo, I'll just take him. Let me be his PG. And they're like, no, Saga, know your worth in regards to just waiting it out. Let him go through the process, and then he gets what he wants, which is the battle with you. And it didn't happen. He ended up taking a battle with Loso, so that actually prolonged us having a conversation. So yeah, from like 2016, going back and forth in interviews. There's some interviews on 15 Minutes of Fame that you did. You know what I'm saying? So like me and him going back and forth. It kind of led to that final moment on the roof, you know what I mean? So
wow, and what better way to have this battle on the
a lot of people don't really, a lot of people that have grudge matches or long-lasting feuds with somebody, like it's very rare that those matches meet their expectations.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to give you a perfect example of that, which was Hollow and John.
Yes.
I was not really, I was excited about the promo, don't get me wrong, but when the battle actually happened, it was kind of like.
No, that makes sense. That makes total like I think there's a few matches that you look at it, it's like this is years in making.
Yeah.
I need to see this.
Yeah.
And then when it happens, it's like I wanted a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I feel like, shouts to B Dot, you know what I mean? Shouts to B Dot because he didn't disappoint. And I feel like if we would have battled back then, it wouldn't have been as great as a battle because I still had a lot more growing to do. He was still maturing in his content. And it's just like, this is the perfect mature conversation that we needed to have in this time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Timing is everything.
Absolutely.
So, all right, you said that there was about 70% preparation and
70% studying and then 30% like writing.
Okay, so I must say you did a phenomenal job with studying because a lot of your material here either I didn't know or I learned a little bit, so I had to go back and try to relearn it.
Right.
But I'm sure for people who just watched the battle like one time, they would even agree that they probably had to like go Google something real quick.
Absolutely. I
You know,
would
I don't really think anyone other, unless they believe the same that he believes,
right,
they can look at it one time and say, oh, I understood everything 100%. So that's why I really wanted to do this sit down with you, because
yes,
it's necessary.
absolutely.
All right, so let's get into round one. Shout out to you because I got the cheat code. Okay, so do you remember how you started round one? Because you know I can't rap. But I
You
can
know,
try.
I start off every battle with the slogan. Now, thank God, I finally got a slogan to start around with. It's about time. URL done brought the sensei back. Christian Mingle on God. They done met they match. You should have told B Dot this was his death day smack. It's more than rap, almanac. Let's stay facts. This ain't the plot off juice. So reenactments is what we not gonna do. This time the bishop on the roof, we got the drop on you.
Pause. I have a little pause here.
Right.
I love this. As
Yeah.
a Juice fan, you know.
Right.
I was like, oh, that was dope. That was pretty clever. You know, I'm sure most people, you know, they caught that because, you know, Bishop was the one that got dropped.
Yeah.
But this time.
Yeah, so that's why I started off. This ain't the plot off juice. So reenactments is what we're not gonna do. Like we're not gonna, you know, you got the bishop on the roof, but this time I'm gonna be the one doing the drop in this situation.
Okay, so moving forward, you said something here with his will's involved.
Right.
But who's Wilson? Like I didn't get that part.
All right, so the whole scheme from that was it's gonna get ugly now. To make sure his will's involved, I isolated myself from those I love to adjust these sounds. Literally push my castaway for time to hand blood these rounds.
Okay.
And it's a movie called Castaway.
Okay.
With Tom Hanks, and he's stranded on an island, and he sees a volleyball, and you know this volleyball is made by Wilson. So what he did was, on his hand, I believe it was blood, he put a handprint of blood on there and drew a smiley face on the volleyball, and he named it Wilson.
Wow.
So he said,
and the movie's called?
It's called Castaway.
Okay.
So the idea was he was stranded on an island, and Wilson was his friend. That was his only friend. He had a little volleyball with blood smeared on his hand, and you know, draw a face on it. So
that's funny.
The idea of saying to make sure his will's involved, I isolated myself from those I love to adjust these sounds. Literally push my castaway, like my people. I pushed my castaway for time to hand blood these rounds, like the blood.
Wow, that's very creative, and I feel like you have a lot of those creative lines. We did an Inside the Bars maybe about. It had to be 2018 because I haven't worked all 2019.
A little while. I think it was around the time I battled Snake Eyes. Yeah, absolutely.
And
just a snake. That's Snake.
Yeah. And you tend to do that a lot. You tend to do you tend to refer to the movies that are not that popular.
Oh no, Castaway is pretty popular.
Really? You think so? I never heard of it.
I mean, y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. If Castaway, I think
popular.
Yeah, like it was kind of one of those things where I wasn't even watching the movie when I came up with the line. I saw a Wilson ball. I think it was a basketball, and my mind went left and was like Wilson, Castaway. There's a person named Wilson. Looked up the clip. I was like, okay, the reason it's called Wilson is because of Wilson volleyball. He put his hand full of blood on it. Okay, and it's like, but yeah, Castaway is one of Tom Hanks' more popular.
Oh wow.
More popular flicks.
I didn't know that but I know like when you did with Snake Eyes, like you make reference that you would really have to know.
Oh yeah.
This or absolutely. That. Okay, so let's keep going. Now, in the first round, obviously, is the first time where you mentioned the comedic science, right?
Yes. Yeah.
My question to you is, even though you did a lot of studying, how much of it was so you can really understand what comedic science is 100%?
Oh yeah.
Or just
I don't
put something dope together.
Oh yeah, no. I like when I study something, it's not just to create an argument for it.
Okay.
I want to understand the perspective, and then when I understand the perspective, when I understand where they're coming from, then I would apply it to my faith in regards to saying, okay, what is this saying about this, and what does scripture say about this?
Right.
But more so, it's just about understanding them first, and then figuring out, okay, well that doesn't really make sense with this. So like, okay, let's draw the comparison to what's conflicting in the two, and yeah, you know what I mean. So I just wanted to make this conversation a little bit more easier for people to understand the
Okay.
difference between Kemetic science and Christianity. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so start with they done.
Oh yeah, so they done matched Kemetic science versus the faith that could sever the head of giants, which is like, you know, David and Goliath. But then I go into a whole scheme of, you know, the severing of the head. You know what I'm saying? So this all intentional. Everything I say towards the scheme is intentional. So they say, because I could have just said Christianity.
Yeah.
I said they put Kemetic science versus the faith that could sever the head of giants. Well, at least it's how the street said it. Look, off top, I rock with you, but what I've been through is more cutthroat compared to what beheaded. So, you know, off top, the rock, David slung a rock. Off top, I rock with you, but what I've been through is more cutthroat, because you started at is compared to what beheaded. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a whole David, you know what I mean, within the idea of Christianity. So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I thought that was dope. Okay, it's been 4 years. We don't really have to get into that.
Oh yeah. That was crazy. It's been 4 years. I really hope the Arams is tight for this kind of fight. The perfect way to see how you combat the gospelite when you're God's polite. You know what I'm saying? Like playing off. What I like to do is I like to play off blending words and then breaking down words. So gospel light, like the light of the word of God, and your God is brother polite. So when your God's polite, like that's your man. You know, somebody that I guess you study under, or something of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So like the perfect way to see how you combat the gospel light when you're gospel light. You know what I'm saying? It's like blending up the word and then chopping it up to mean something different.
Yeah. Okay. When I was studying your material,
yes,
when I thought of that, I immediately thought of the conversation that Brother Polite had with Twerk. I don't know if you got to see
shouts
that.
to my brother Twerk. I'm very proud of you. I tell him this all the time. I'm proud of you for how you defend the word.
Listen,
like he knows.
Listen.
He knows. Like a lot of people don't know. Me and Twerk talk damn near every day. You know what I'm saying? And he knows the kind of conversation we have. I know his heart in this, and I just want to say, regardless of what you see on that stage, and you know he's one of the greatest in the world. That man still has a heart for God, and
listen, proud is
you know
an understatement. You
know what I'm saying? And I'm proud that, you know, of how he defends the word, because, you know, he could easily be like, well, I don't follow that no more, or this ain't what he still holds on to his principles in Christianity, and the way he defended it unashamed in front of a man who was trying to, like, you know, like scoff at him and look down on him. So shouts to you, Twerk, real talk for that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care what the people in the comments got to say. I'm gonna say this.
Talk about it.
Not only am I proud of Twerk, but I must say, all right, I don't know that man, right? And I understand that people have their own beliefs, and I respect everyone's belief system.
Absolutely.
Let's just start there. However, what I don't respect is when someone has a different belief than you, and you laugh and kind of like, what? You believe that? What? I don't like that. I don't like that.
I never respect that. You know what I'm saying? I never respect
because
that.
Just how you have the right to believe what you believe, that man has the right to believe what he believes.
Absolutely.
And no one should be I believe the same thing you believe.
Absolutely.
But I'm never gonna laugh at someone for believing what they believe. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't respect that.
Yeah. I watching that, you know, I obviously this is way off what we're talking about, but like even seeing how he kind of laughed and kind of scoffed at him and kind of like you believe in that? Like, come on, my brother. I'm so disappointed. Like this, in the maturity that Twerk held himself to, was saying, well, listen, like this is what I believe. I'll never disrespect what you stand for. I'm just saying this is what I believe. I think there's so much maturity in that, because that could have went left. Like you're belittling me because I don't agree with what you say. It's you know, I think that was real corny. I think that was very corny, Brother Polite.
Hello, talk about it.
I think it was very corny, because me and B-Dot, men of two different religious beliefs or backgrounds, can come together and stand as one and not scoff at the other person or not look down on somebody because of what they believe. We could have a civilized and mature conversation. Absolutely. So I think that was very corny. Yeah. Brother Polite.
I agree, 100%.
All right, God bless you.
Amen.
Nah, that really bothered me.
No, seriously, it bothered me too. You know, I was watching it live like everyone else, and then I went and I screen recorded so that I can send it over to, I think I was sending it to Uncle Ra. And so I had no choice obviously but to watch it again. And when I was watching it, I was just kind of like, you know, man, people can not believe the same thing, but just don't disrespect another person for believing what they believe.
Like I took time with preparing for B-Dot. I took time to understand what he believes, and I'd hate to be the person to say this person is wrong or this is, you know what I'm saying. But I understood in regards to, you know, why he would come to these conclusions. So like I'm never gonna sit here and say you're right or I'm right, you're wrong in a situation. You know what I'm saying? I think when we can have mature conversations as adults that we are, then we can come to a more understanding. Like even if we agree to disagree, there's ways of going about it. But when you come down off this like I'm holier than you, I'm more I like that comes off. We can't have a conversation. You're not looking for a conversation, you're looking for an argument.
Absolutely.
So we're not here for arguments.
Now imagine, and then we're gonna get off this topic because I don't really think he deserved that much energy.
Right.
But imagine if he was to sit down with somebody like me who's a seminarian, you know what I'm saying, or somebody like Redeem who's a pastor.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just leave that
you know what I'm saying? But but all in all, shouts to my brother Twerk. You know what I'm saying? Great job.
Facts.
I mean,
he been ducking. I've been trying to find him. I'm trying to sit with Twerk.
That's what I mean. Hopefully we can get that. Hopefully we can get that together. You know
I'm gonna need some help because you know.
I got you.
Okay, so let's move on.
Let's talk about it.
Let's see. I love the caffeine line. Makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You want to go or you want to?
Oh no. I feel like jump? You know we could pick up on
Okay. So the Caitlyn Jenner line was another one.
Crazy.
The buffer size line was another good one.
I had some bars. Nah, for real. I love the idea of blending words. You know what I'm saying? Like the phrase, I'm not the mother guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if you slow it down, I'm not the mother guys. I'm not the mother guy. I'm not the mother. I'm not the mother guy. Okay. I came with pressure. Caitlyn Jenner, don't mistake me for the mother guys. Like it's crazy. Like if you blend words the right way, it could really do some damage. You know what I'm saying? So that was just one of those things.
Okay. Starting with leave you paranoid.
Okay. So I think before that, I said he downplaying my career like I'm a passive threat to the wrath beset. Leave you paranoid, spend the rest of your life alert if you think a medical assist if I'm at your neck. So once again, I'm blending the word think a medic will assist, and I'm thinking if you think comedic will assist if I'm at your neck, push my buttons. So it's like I'm not just scheming out that word. I always like to end it with something that relates to it, and then so if you think medical assist if I'm at your neck, you know, because life alert is a little button you press. And then it's like push my buttons. I'll make sure you stay true to yourself when the doctor's around. All I know is you'll be in ICU, woke, then someone conscious, aware, a hospital. So conscious, woke, and aware. You know what I'm saying? You will wear a hospital gown, which bleeds into the next idea. And it's like I like to make sure everything makes sense chronologically when I write. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels like you're reading, like if you're reading my lyrics, you can. It seems like a book, you know what I'm saying? Like I want it to seem like it's something where this action leads to this action, leads to that action, and before you know it, the whole round is done. And it's easier for me to remember like that as well.
Yeah, I would think so too. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's jump down.
Let's do it.
Okay, we don't need to get there. Oh, I love the whole steak thing. I love that steak. No time for a vegan approach. I love that. So yeah, that was good. And
did you like my B-Dot impression?
Oh,
did you? I've been asking Twitter. B-Dot, he approved. He said I sound a little bit like Lux.
Let me tell you.
But listen? If y'all watch the battle, how was my B-Dot impression? Y'all let me on a scale of 1 to 10. Just put a number. Don't even tell Uncle Rob what it's about. Just like 6. 7, whatever. Just like, what do y'all think about my?
It was really good, and I was cracking up because it was just funny to see you like that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know, man. Like I'm a pretty funny person. Like I study people to where like I can do pretty good impressions. So
yeah,
like,
you did one of me. I was pissed.
So it's like, you know, I feel like there's so much about real life that I haven't applied to battle rap in regards to just letting myself be funny and, you know what I mean? I feel like I come into battle rap and I'm so like, Now I'm like, okay, you know what? I could joke a little bit. I could have a little fun because I know it's gonna lead to something good. And I wanted to try it out with this battle, like play around with the idea of him, how he moves and how he tries to pause for the word. And yeah, I just wanted to have fun with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm glad that you said that because I do feel like a lot of battle rappers, especially the ones that I've gotten to know personally, you would never know that they are the way that they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like Goods. You know, everybody knows that's my brother. I hated him before I met him. I hated his guts. I thought he was corny.
Jesus.
But when you really get to know him, he's so like amazing. Like he just has like a big heart, and that's something that you would think that all he cares about is clothes or he cares about his fashion, but he's really not like that.
Shout out to Goods, man. Shout out to Goods.
Shout out to my brother. Okay, so let's keep on. Shout out to me.
You know what's crazy?
Because I print it.
You know what's crazy?
What?
It's a little sidebar for Goods. My first time meeting him and taking a picture with him was at Summer Madness 2.
Okay.
Only reason why I know that, because Summer Madness 2 was the first ever event I went to. And I remember that because I was going through my phone. I found pictures of me and O-Red, me and JC, me and Goods. Like, from that. Like,
you weren't battling at that time?
Nah.
Wow.
I don't think I was battling at that time. I think I was getting ready to have my first battle around that timeline of Summer Madness 2. But yeah.
Wow. That's
somewhere around there.
Okay, so they believe in your quotes.
Oh yeah, in hopes that all this guys from your fans gave you a reason to gloat, and you hold on to it in hopes that B can be a beacon of hope. So it's like hope, beacon of hope, and against to address the nation. Like we must rise above the fear of the man and detach from trepidation. In a separate school of thought that can only be found in blacks like segregation. Bring forth their desolation. Question: where was all this energy when guardians of the culture neglect your payments?
He laughed at that part too.
Yeah, stressful ain't it? String about the pain that oppressed our people for generations. Devastation. Another black man robbed by the whites for his reparations. You see, brother, that's why in the end I have reservations. You know what I'm saying? So like playing around with the idea of him talking about we gotta rise above the man, bro, you didn't get paid for your last battle and you didn't do nothing.
Wow.
So it's like, the 2-on-2 battle with him and Ward, a lot of people didn't get paid from that, you know what I mean? It's janky
Where was
business.
that at?
I was in Jersey. One of the best battles of the year, honestly. That 2-on-2 was definitely battle of the year contender. But a lot of people didn't get paid, so you can't tell people to rise above the man. You still ain't get paid from the man. You know what I'm saying? So like just playing off that, and just playing off of how he raps, and I think it was a little fun way to just introduce that impersonation side.
Yeah. And it was also a humorous way to deliver a serious message.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, that was really funny. Okay, so where did you just end? Oh, you ended. All right, so when the
reservations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no, let's jump. When the faith involved.
Oh, listen, hold up. First of all,
before?
We got to go before it because that's a whole scheme.
Okay.
So.
But you said it already, didn't you?
No, I ended that reservation.
Okay. Oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
All right.
So what I like, this is what I do all the time. Everything I say from the beginning of a phrase to the ending of that to the bar will tie in very well. So like, in the end, I have reservations. What you say is fraud. Verse Loso, I watch you two fight as you try bull to convey your bars. Straight facade. Styles I invent or a few reasons I'm an ace when the faith involved. All this African paint only to end up in a bag when nature calls. Save your dog. So what I did was, there's a movie called Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. You know what I'm saying, with Jim Carrey. And there's a scene where Tommy Davidson is like this African monster that they call on whenever they got some issues. So he's about to have a fight with Tommy Davidson. And Tommy Davidson's character was named Wachutu. So I said, verse Los, I watch you two.
Okay.
I watch you two as you try bull, because you got on tribal paint, as you try bull to convey your bars. Straight facade. Styles I invent or a few, like Ventura. Styles I invent or a few reasons I'm an ace when the faith involved. Like I'm important. All that African paint, because they had on African paint versus Loso.
Right.
All that African paint to end up in a bag when nature calls.
Wow.
So like Wachutu comes out to the fight in a bag. Like he's like like strapped into a bag.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then all that African paint to end up in a bag where nature calls, save your dog, because you know Ace is always trying to save his dog, so he's a pet detective. So everything literally makes sense through and through in regards to what that means. You know what I mean? So that was a whole Ace Ventura scheme.
Now, how much time did you spend on that one?
I had everything else. The Watch You 2 came way later. I had to adjust it because like I was like, yo, I remember the tribal stuff. Okay, but what's his name? When I found out, I'm like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Versus Loso, I watched you two fight, and then it kind of just everything else tied in perfectly.
Yeah.
But I probably took like, it takes me a while to write. That might have took me like 20 minutes to just lock in to make it perfect.
Yeah. Like I can imagine, like, especially now that because you know before, like, I used to like write it by hand, and you, thank God, sent me this, and I'm like, wow. Even when I see how you prepare, I only got to see two other people's, which was Chess. I got to see how he like he showed me his phone, how he writes, and Rock.
I don't even write on my phone.
Oh.
I put my phone down. Like I write on my laptop.
Oh, really?
It's like a way for me, because like I feel like on my phone it's easily a way for me to get distracted.
Okay.
Social media, so I put it down airplane mode. I get on my laptop and I type, and it's easier for me to type a lot faster like that instead of thumbs. So yeah.
Do you ever write with like pen and paper?
Nah, I stopped doing that a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah, I stopped doing that a long time ago.
Oh.
If I had to, I could. I have very nice handwriting, but you know what I'm saying, I just never do it no more.
Oh, okay. Okay, where are we?
We just finished up the Wachutu Tribal.
Oh, this ain't that 2014 Saga with basic bars.
All right.
Now, okay,
listen,
before
we could go the whole round. That's what I'm trying to skim through, because I have so much for y'all. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Before you get there, before I even, obviously, you know, that's the first line.
Right.
When you said it, I was like, let them know, because I love your growth. Let me just say that. What is this? What year is this?
It's 2020. 2020.
I love your growth, and I knew you was gonna get crazy as soon as I heard that one line, because I feel like everybody should grow naturally, right? But it's been a pleasure to watch you grow. You know what I'm saying? It's been a pleasure to watch your pen get better and better and better.
Absolutely.
And I can only hope that you get what you deserve.
I feel like and this is never to be arrogant. I feel like, you know, the word speaks about being true in our evaluations of self as well as others. So I feel like this is not out of cockiness. This is out of confidence and respect for myself. I feel like nobody's had a level up and a comeback stronger than I have. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be literally bottom of the barrel, people just spitting on me whenever it comes to mentioning my name, throwing dirt on me, you know, talking down on me, and then to come back, reinvent yourself, and not only reinvent yourself, but succeed in doing that and level up every single battle to the point that everything is undeniable. I had to, like, with this battle, I knew I had to draw it back to where we first started. So that's why I started off. This ain't 2014 Saga with basic bars. Like, I've leveled up so much that it's you'd be dumb to deny it. You know what I'm saying? I've worked hard. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, drawing into that, this ain't that 2014 Saga with basic bars. Every battle I've had since I've evolved, Dar wins, and I'll show you levels to aping, Charles. So, like, you know, his name is Charles Burnley. Charles Darwin believed in, you know what I'm saying, evolution. So like every battle I've had since I've evolved, Dar wins. So like it's like evolved and the D and evolved, and then like R wins, and just showing like I'll show you levels to ape and I'll show you levels to progression in that aspect. So it was crazy.
Yeah, that was good. And of course we can't forget about the line that a lot of people liked a lot, which was your Danny versus A Ward. 21 haven't seen in years.
Shouts to Danny, man. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah, I was just about to say.
So here's my thing. I was there, right? And I don't want to seem so cold-hearted. Danny's my man. Like, I talk to Danny so much, bro. That's my man. But here's my thing. Like, even when he battled A Ward, and like he had the whole third round, he talked about his son. You see Danny's about to cry at the end of this third. I'm like, that's real. I appreciate that. I turned to A Ward, said, rebuttal that. Talk about his son. I just tell you, yo, Danny, that was amazing. Great job, bro. Yeah, that was real.
Which one is A-Word again?
A-Word is the white one.
Okay.
It's the only white one in the Horseman.
Okay.
My brother. Love
Sorry,
you.
I didn't mean any disrespect.
But yeah, no. So it was just a moment, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, when I'm writing for battles, sometimes I need to reset and watch battles to kind of get myself in the flow of things. I watched Danny versus A-Ward and went to that third, and I'm like, okay, he ain't seen his son in 21 years. Okay, all right, so be prepared, because if Sensei vibe, and playing off Sensei vibe, I'll make it hard for you to leave from here. You either getting 3-0'd or Danny's son versus Ward, a 21 you haven't seen in years. It just like, it's a nice way of saying you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
But it's about how much you lose about.
Yeah.
So it was a little sneaky one. My bad, Danny. Like, it's battle rap. You know, I'm sorry. But like, I'm sorry. But like,
that's why I looked at you like that, because I was like, what's your relationship with Danny?
No, Danny's my guy. He was there when I said it. Like, he was right.
Oh yes, he battled that day.
He was right by Avocado. He was like, that was hard. I think he even heard my first round, days prior.
Before you.
Yeah. So he knows. He heard all my rounds actually.
Right.
Yeah, shouts to Danny, man, being a good sport. You know, it's battle rap. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't saying nothing disrespectful. I'm just saying you stated it. You said you ain't seen him 21 years. So I figured that'd be a nice little way of saying I'm gonna get a 21 that nobody hasn't seen in years. Thank you for being a good sport.
Right.
I'm sorry, I had to, cause I never said it in public. I told him, and he understands, but sometimes you gotta lay it out for the people. You know what I'm saying? So shouts to Danny.
Right. All right. So that sums up round one.
Yes.
Now, can I tell you what I thought about round one?
Talk to me.
Upon first watch, round one, I gave it to B Dot.
I did
which
too.
I'm sure most people did.
I did too.
But can I also say that I think it's good because it got better every round. So round one, if it was a little, then it's like, okay, round 2 and 3 was like boom.
Right.
That's how I felt.
A lot of people write their best rounds as their first rounds.
Right.
Because you're getting the initial battle. This is your initial thoughts going into the first round. You got a lot of your biggest moments in the first. But I knew based off what I was writing and how much I was writing certain content, I'm like, the first is cool. I'm getting the feel for the weather. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, but then like the second and third were my babies. Like I knew I wrote the second immediately. Like I was so enraged by everything going on in the world. The second came a lot faster than the first.
Okay.
And then like the third came a little bit later, but I knew those two, the second and third, were going to be those ones that like, those are my ones right there. So,
yeah. And it shows actually. Okay, let's start off with round 2. You started off with the impersonation.
Shouts to Dot, man. That's my brother, man.
Okay, your deceit is strong. Go ahead.
Oh. Your deceit is strong.
Oh my God.
When this was booked, I read into your elementary cadence on how your speech is drawn. He figured if Dot bounced on the words, then y'all can keep along. You know what I'm saying? So that idea is like, like in grade school, maybe you were a little kid and stuff like that. Like you see like the little bouncing ball on the words that kind of keep you at a pace. So it's like drawing a comparison from the beginning, like even a little scheme, like everything matters. When this was booked, I read into your elementary cadence on how your speech is drawn. He figured if Dot bounced on the words, y'all can keep along. So book, read, elementary, you know what I'm saying? Things like that.
Speech and words.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Beautiful. You're good at this.
I try my best to like, because it's only in 2 bars. This would technically be considered 2 bars. Like, the first bar ends at speech is drawn.
Okay.
And then keep along is the second bar. So like the pacing is a little different, but it's all, I'm trying to fit a lot of information in 2 bars.
Okay, so when you did this whole part right here, right?
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, you move like this to drag out ideas just to get a few bars popping to confuse y'all watching. Now, you wanna know what's crazy?
So
When not obviously, but maybe you didn't have this in mind.
yeah.
But when I listened to that, it reminded me of Hollow and Lux. When Hollow told Lux, what he said to him.
That's the Hollow and
He
Lux,
told him, what did he say? He said, I think I get it face. Like that whole
Oh yeah,
notion of yeah.
When
Like,
I said,
just because
yo, yeah,
you
like
don't
when I
understand
rap
it.
this, they give that I just face.
Yeah.
When you rap that, I think I get it face.
Yeah, and
that's hilarious. Hollow. I was just on the phone with him the other day too. Hollow. Brilliant. I should have watched that battle in preparation. That would have been. I would have definitely taken the same like hilarious approaches.
Right.
But that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
And he was saying, like, oh, just because you don't understand, don't make it like dope.
Just because you don't understand him, don't mean that he's nice.
Yeah. So that's what I. That's
the hollow. Queen's goat.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. The Umar Johnson line was after that.
Yeah. Wrestling ball right after that.
Okay, let's get into that because
wrestling ball right after that because I'm the king of wrestling bars, y'all. I'm like, I think it's only fair. I'm the king of wrestling bars. I think I had some in the first. Did I have some in the first round? I probably didn't.
No.
I should have. Oh man, I had a bar in my head. I should have. Anyway, I'm the king of wrestling bars because this right here I said, man, I'll shoot y'all. I was gonna say I'll shoot y'all conscience or whatever. I was like, I'll shoot y'all. Nah, I don't need a gun to make a difference. Because if I drew it, lead to a casket like the Undertaker entrance. So a druid is one of those dudes who came in those hoodies, those hoods that drew a casket to the ring for the Undertaker for certain matchups. So a druid, and I'm saying if I drew it, lead to a casket like the Undertaker entrance. So, like, come on, like wrestling bars. I live there. The Rock chain on. I really do this.
I was supposed to wear a shirt today.
I like this shirt today. So. Shouts to D Bruce, Pokemon shirt.
Okay, so keep going.
See when LeBron coming at you, the right hook leave more scars than it has to. Switch the guard to distract you. Arm swinging. You won't know if I lift these paws to attack you or the referee call for a travel. Like, because the referee, when they call for a travel, is this. But I'm from New York, so sometimes when they be fighting, they be like, what's up? They be like, right here with it. So, arm swinging, you won't know if I lift these paws to attack you or the referee call for a travel. But you don't want to see me violent. Discredit Oops for giving us a legislative chance and criticize that man behind the branch, but not when Geechee hiding. Because the legislative is considered a branch in systems. You know what I'm saying? So Oops was literally behind a branch, legislative, trying to make effective change. So you criticize that man behind the branch, but not when Geechee hiding, because Geechee was also behind a branch. And you know what I'm saying? Like playing off, it's a witty way of saying you know how to pick your fights. You're gonna pick on Oops and call him a corrupt politician when he's out here giving change and making change, but you're not gonna criticize Geechee behind the branch.
Okay, can we just stay right there for a second?
Right. I was a slick little one too. I was slick.
I don't really think Geechee was hiding behind the branch.
He was. He went like, you're hiding when you do this. You're hiding when you do that. I get why he was hiding.
No.
No, I get why he was hiding because he said, you know what I mean, he wasn't supposed to be there.
No. Honestly,
but like you gotta pick your fights.
I feel like he was walking and then he stopped and looked and the tree just happened to be there.
No, he hit.
Do you really think that dude would hide behind that little thing?
Bro said, this the tree. He looked over here first, right? Went behind the tree and then did another look. If you were just looking, you would have stayed where you are and just like, or even move forward. Like, what's going on? You went back to the tree behind you and then you were hiding.
I don't know. I'm gonna watch it again.
It's all love, Geechee, but like that's.
I love me some Geechee. I get why.
Nah, Geechee's one of the greatest in the world. Period.
I love me some Geechee.
Geechee's the face of URL.
Ooh.
He's the face of URL.
Ooh.
He earned it. He earned it. He battled Twerk for it. He won. Who else is battling at the same capacity as Geechee and being as consistent with those kind of names?
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
I'm just saying.
He's really the face. You know what I'm saying? He's really the face of URL. So
all right, well, I guess he the face then.
I'm gonna smoke him in 3 rounds one day though.
Which I just did one?
We just did 1 round on the quarantine. But like when we get 3 rounds, it's lit. It's lit, bro.
You gotta see everybody, huh?
Yeah, he gotta see me. You gotta see me though. For real.
All right.
But
Let's
the
keep it
legislative
moving.
chants and criticize that man behind the branch, but now Magishi hiding. If these keep flying, it's 1-2-1-2 with a repeat time and beep beep. Then BB whining. I pulled off up and
that was hard.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting into my little performance bag, the beep beep, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you know, when you're from New York, you make sound effects when you do a punch.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Facts.
same dude on the
Yo, New Yorkers could tell a story.
Yeah, yo, they really could. Like, all right, so boom, seen dude on the block, you know what I'm saying? I came through, what's up? What you mean? Beep, beep. Get him like, so I'm like, yo.
So,
so, you know what I'm saying? So, like, when I did that was like just my ode to New York. That beep, beep. Then BB whining, I pulled off up at BB whiners. So it's like, you know, New Yorkers just have a certain way of expressing themselves.
That's a fact.
So I just wanted to bring that to
we
LA.
Some storytellers, boy, I tell you.
Facts.
That's why hip hop was born here. Let's go with. All right, we just finished BB whining.
Yeah.
But something wasn't sitting right to attack Superman.
Ooh, yes. UCB trying to attack that St. Louis hero for his mental trials, but something wasn't sitting right. To attack Superman brain, he act like he said tripping, his blood became a kryptonite. So, Oops had the movie or the documentary St. Louis Superman. Okay. You know, Oscar nominated, my brother.
Yes, I did hear about that.
Congratulations. So my thing was, you know, B-Dot versus Oops. B-Dot took the angle of attacking his mental trials that he had, you know, dealing with suicide attempts and depression and stuff like that. So I'm drawing the St. Louis hero thing into play and then tying in different aspects to tie the loose ends. So saying he attacked that St. Louis superhero's mental trials, but something wasn't sitting right. To attack Superman brain, he act like he said tripping. So Superman's arch rival, or one of his rivals, is Brainiac. So to attack Superman brain, he act like he acts like he said tripping. Beautiful. As blood became a kryptonite, and kryptonite was what weakened Superman. So and he's blood, so like he set tripping from blood to a kryptonite. So it's like just tying in two different ideas to make one whole thought, you know what I'm saying? So that's what that was.
Yeah, that was really good. That was really good. I loved. This is why I was like almost tempted to skip the part before it, right? Because I love this whole mentally woke depression, like that whole thing. Yeah. I love how you even go into the what good is being woke, you know, the glands and the
pineal gland has astigmatism. Like so your pineal gland is seen as your third eye.
Yep.
So that whole idea, you know, because as somebody who's very openly outspoken about their depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts and suicide attempts, like that topic is very near and dear to my heart. You know what I'm saying? So when he attacked Oops for those same things, it didn't sit well with me. And as somebody who's proclaiming to be pro-black and, you know, you're going to tear down your brother on this platform and talk about all these things, it didn't sit well with me. So I wanted to draw that narrative for him. Like, yo, just because it's depression don't mean it's something you can get over real fast. Like, it's not you'll be fine. It's not like a little Band-Aid. Yeah. So being woke or being, you know, like, you know what I'm saying, doesn't help the fact that people still go through these real life issues. So what's the point of being woke if your pineal gland has astigmatism? Yep. You know what I'm saying?
And I love that because as we know, this gland produces melatonin, which is the sleepy thing. Right. Now here's my question. Was it hard for you to get this personal, or do you feel like...
It definitely struck a nerve.
Okay.
It definitely struck a nerve. This whole round, this was my more emotional round to write. My emotions were all over the place for this round, because I'm going from mental health, mental stability, and mental issues, and then, you know, we tie on to the more political aspect of things at the end of the round. So it was like to even tap into that, you know, I spoke about it in my rum battle with the employee of the month, my whole third round. So like I'm very outspoken in that aspect when it comes to that. So when I see people getting picked on, or when I see people getting laughed at or ridiculed for having those same mental trials. I'm like, you really don't understand, do you?
Yeah.
So it did strike a nerve
Mm-hmm.
to see that, and then it struck a bigger nerve to even try to write for
Mm-hmm.
this round.
Yeah, I find it very courageous of you to not only, like you said, not only in this battle, but you talked about it in your run battle, which was like a line that everybody went bananas over.
Right.
So I commend you for having the courage to do so.
Yeah.
Okay. We are going to skip down. Too profound. Do I want to get into this? You worried about the conscious community? Yes. Let's go there. You worried about the conscious community. I'm helping Black kids. This is another thing that I love because you get personal with your career and, you know, the things that you do that a lot of people may not know about.
I don't know, because like I feel like I don't broadcast every aspect of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I like to keep certain things about my personal life still private. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like for this kind of battle, when you're going against somebody who's always looking down at people and saying, what do? You need to do right, brother. You doing wrong. And this is B-Dot saying this to people.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I'm like, okay, you can't tell me I'm not affecting my community. You're not telling me that you can't tell me that I don't bring change to my community. So I just opened up that chapter of my life. And I forgot, let me see, how did I start it off? Pretty much saying, oh yeah, with the whole bronze statue meddling with hopes to be idolized. But me, I never stressed the cred. I'm a youth leader, help kids in the system who have been left for dead. Plus, I work in multiple schools for 3 years with kids that's in special ed, where I connect few dwelt. I'm talking constant struggles with cognitive functions that feel like giants compared to stress you felt. Like what they deal with is greater than what your everyday stress is, like little pebbles compared to the boulder of obstacles they have to face.
Right.
So like constant struggles with cognitive functions that feel like giants compared to stress you felt. When the hell did you help? Oh, I get it. You speak profound to crowds in your rounds because the end result gets you wealth. You're worried about the conscious community. I'm helping these Black kids with their mental health to seek what they couldn't touch. I look to them, but think of you when I speak on reasons to put them up.
Mm-hmm.
I see their grades and tell my students aim higher. B isn't good enough. Yeah. Like just playing off the idea, you want to be such a role model to the conscious community. You want to be a role model, but like I haven't seen anything applied to practice. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. and being that change, or I haven't heard it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm very much so effective in my change. Been in the school system for almost 4 years. I'm good throughout Queens and even in Brooklyn. I'm just like helping kids with behavioral issues, mental issues. You know what I'm saying? Like I stand 10 toes in that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you can't tell me I'm not bringing change. It's not just church change. Mm-hmm. I'm in, like, even if they didn't know Christ, I'm still implementing who I am into bringing change into a school system to kids from pre-K to high school. I worked with so many kids. Yeah. And I was like, yo, before you even try to say I don't do anything, this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I thought that was amazing. That was phenomenal, actually. I even like the you know, how he kind of had like the look on his face, like, you know. I always like when
I was gonna pull out my teacher card. I was gonna pull out I'm like, nah, let me not go.
I got mine in my wallet.
I was about to go hard, but I was like, you know what? I feel like the point of what I'm saying will stand true to itself.
Yeah, on its own. I always like when MCs are rapping and their opponents kind of like, that was hard, or that was. I love that. I love when that happens. Okay, like I said, this battle. I mean, a lot of times when I used to do the show, I would skip over a lot of stuff and just go to my favorite parts. But there's so much here. I can't really skip over. This is gonna be one. This is gonna be one long video.
We're gonna have to do parts.
Yeah. Your talking is cheap.
Through pretty words, you learn how to harness deceit and target the weak. That's why I see the flaws in your speech. But a shepherd with no direction is just as lost as a sheep. Mm-hmm. And I substituted y'all credit for validity if God said it. So y'all could say I use my faith as a crutch. Just know my steps were never prosthetic. You know what I'm saying? There's no faking in my step. You know what I mean? There's no faking in what I do. I brought methods. Ain't no benefits to trying me. You can't compare Mr. Butler to these menace to society. One who gives years to his community versus one who only gives minutes to society. Oh, you trying me? What a hunt is on. This speech getting old, dog, but you getting chalked up with it. I figured you bring up being black in America, but all this talk about Kansas, the reason Charles doesn't get it. So that is a whole menace to society scheme. From the moment I mentioned Mr. Butler to the end of that. So it is a pretty popular scene in Menace to Society where Mr. Butler is in the room. He's in the classroom. Old Dog comes into the classroom, and they're talking about, you know, Old Dog taking the offer to move to Kansas. And he's talking about, and Mr. Butler is saying, this is what it's like to be a black man in America. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the hunt is on. And he says things like that. So I'm drawing a comparison to that. And the actor who plays Mr. Butler's name is Charles Dutton. Charles Dutton. And B-Dot's name is Charles Burnley. So I'm saying this speech getting old, dog. Like it's getting repetitive, but you're getting chalked up with it. I figured you bring up being black in America, but all this talk about Kansas is the reason Charles doesn't get it. Like all this talk about killing somebody is the reason you don't understand.
That's so amazing, you know, how everything just seems to work out so well. Like his name is Charles. Charles doesn't get it. And then the whole conversation, being a black man, and then he's B-Dot, like it's so amazing how well things work out.
Things just mapped out perfectly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for instance, like even reeling it back to Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes battle Math, and he brought out Bonnie, and then like the battle after that, you're battling a believer, and Adam, Eve, the snake. They just tied in. There's certain things that just tie in perfectly into place.
Absolutely, it's just it's so beautiful how it all maps out.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Okay, keep going.
Oh, your cause just shifted. You're a part of the problem that's truly stressing you. Even Dot plays a part in the system. It's Dewey Decimal. You know what I'm saying? So just saying, like, in the grand scheme of it all, he plays into the role of systematic racism with, you know, either you're standing for equality or you're standing for one side. But even in that, it can promote a level of racism to the other party. So it's like, so I'm saying, like, you being pro-black, there's nothing wrong with being pro-black at all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying if you're not trying to fight for that equality, you're standing for one thing that could be seen as bias to another party. So you're involved in a problem that's truly stressing you. Even Dot plays a part in the system as Dewey Decimal, like, you know, in the Dewey Decimal system.
Yeah, I learned that on Arthur, the show Arthur.
You know, I never watched it. I never watched Arthur.
Really?
Like that. I never really watched it like that.
I loved Arthur when I was a kid. DW, that was my sis.
Man, nah, I never got into it as a kid.
Wow.
Never got into it as a kid.
Damn, you're gonna make me want to break out and sing the whole theme song.
Oh, nah.
Hey.
Chill.
Okay. This has to be, okay, the Straight Outta Compton joint, that was fire. But what I'm more,
No, it's easy to look down on you.
Straight Outta Compton cover.
Because, you know, in the cover for the album.
Yes.
Easy, they're all looking down.
Yes.
And I did the look with the gun because Eazy's the only one looking down with a gun in his hand.
Beautiful. Writing this, okay, so this whole part here is just so moving and so powerful. You know, you speak on the recent passings, the senseless murders, and
R.I.P.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Aubrey, Breonna Taylor, R.I.P. George Floyd, Black Lives Matter.
Yes, I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, so a lot of people know, like, I have my degree in African American Studies, and, you know, of course, during my degree process, we learn about all these things.
Right.
So I don't know if maybe I'm numb because the things that people may not know I learned in school. So this is not the first time something like this has happened, obviously. Right. And I just, like, people will ask me my opinion. I don't really have, I'm just numb.
Right.
You know, I don't really have any thoughts. I haven't watched the video. I haven't watched any videos of any protests of anything like that.
Wow.
So when I was listening to you, I was like, dang, you know, people are so affected by this. Yeah. You know?
That whole writing the end of my second around the time seeing the George Floyd video go viral, it messed me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen, you know, we've seen the videos for Trayvon. We've seen all these other things. And it's kind of like, as messed up as it is, sometimes we become insensitive to it at times because we understand this, how crazy and how hectic the world is. But to see that video was kind of like the last straw for me. And the way I broke down in tears over that stretch of like 4 or 5 days, just like I was so overwhelmed with emotion and anger and frustration. But then like I have to reel myself back in, because what does a man of God looks like? What does a man of God look like in this time? You know, does he rely on anger and emotion, or does he lean on a peace that surpasses all understanding? You know, like, I'm a man of God, but I'm a man of color, and I feel like there was so much going through my mind, so much going through my heart, and I wanted to show what a pissed off Christian looks like. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to just get on camera or say something like, just trust Jesus and everything will be fine. You know what I mean? Like, the word says faith without works is dead. So like, these are things I wanted to highlight in my walk and in my round, to show like I'm just as pissed off as anybody else is, but I'm not in the church praying. I'm not just in the church praying. I'm in the field with y'all too. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to really show a different narrative, and I kind of wanted to isolate myself from the idea of prosperity preaching. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to. I don't want to be associated with prosperity preaching Christianity in regards to that, because I feel like they give a one-sided picture of what Christianity is. Like,
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They think it's just rainbow, sunshine, happiness as soon as you trust Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why so many people grow confused, because when hardship comes, they don't know how to approach it with anything other than that. You know what I'm saying? So I want to show that I hurt the same as everybody else, but it's how I deal with it and who I go to for it. That's the difference.
Wow. I understand. I particularly love this whole part here, because you referenced the Bible 3 times. You came from Philippians, you came from James, you came from Romans.
Come on.
Which
knowing your script.
3 arc, no signal isn't on.
The devil is a liar. And you know,
on my 3 arc.
Let's fix that real quick. Hold on a second. Let's fix this.
To be continued.
I was going through something. All right, well.
Can we unplug the TV?
I mean, it's off technically, so it's all good.
I'm gonna have to edit this.
Yeah, he gonna have to do something.
All right, so
you can start from the Bible verse stuff again.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you in the shot?
Yeah.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2. Like I said, I particularly love this whole part here, because you referenced the Bible 3 times. You came from Philippians, you came from James, you came from Romans.
Come on, talk about it.
You know, and I love me some Paul, honey. You know, he wrote Philippians, he wrote Romans. So I was just in heaven, honey. Yeah. So let's start there. Now, let's get into it. Now, this is why I really wanted to do this, because for the people who are true fans of battle rap and who really appreciate the essence of rap and hip hop and battle rap, right? They appreciate that lyricism and the substance.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's incumbent upon me to go through this in great depth.
It's a nice word.
Okay.
I like it. I might steal it.
It would behoove me.
Come on.
To go
big
through
words.
This in great depth, because this is why so many people love this battle, is because of the substance in it. You know, coming from a believer and comedic, someone who's
more of the pro-black movement.
Yeah, pro-black movement. Yeah. You know, it's necessary that we really delve into it, the lyricism and the substance, you know. So let's do just that.
Let's do it.
I want to start with disbelief of recent passings. I don't have a pen, but I want to start here, and I want to really dissect everything going down.
Okay. Writing this, I had to stop in utter disbelief of the recent passings, senseless murders. Rest in peace, Ahmaud, Breonna, and Floyd. Filling the gap between justice and just us based off the color of our skin, hoping that God fill the void. Had my logic destroyed. Thinking of George with that crooked cop made me want to approach with vengeance at you. Because the way they murdered hymns way more than a social distance battle. You know what I mean? Because Murder Mook and Hymns had a Shasta, RB, and all them. We need to stop killing. So it's like, you know, we got need, and need was next. We need to stop killing. But before I go, I need to make a comment where these racist cops that made a comment at. We lean on God for peace that surpasses, but still tired of surpassing from the peace when the shots dispatch.
Pause. Now, I love how right there, if someone was listening and they didn't know the word, it would just sound good, but they wouldn't even know that they're getting a little bit of scripture, right? Because that's Philippians 4:7. Come on. All right, keep going.
We lean on God for peace that surpasses, but still tired of surpassing from the peace when the shots dispatch. Little kids growing up heartless because the life of mom and pops was snatched. We need change, but metal rounds in a clip hold different cycles for whites and colors like the laundromat.
Beautiful.
We need to remain steadfast, but still socially aware of the construct used to divide the pack. I will not relax, because prosperity preaching don't help subside the fact. Faith is dead without works, so any prayer I say got a 9 to 5 attached. I'm on the block with cats, like God got your back. So I see no fault in you wanting to protect your family holding Glocks and straps. I get props to that, but the problem is that we become so fueled by vengeance on our own, we forget to leave it at the throne. We got God for that. But tell the cops retract. If you ain't trying to deal with mob attacks, swinging locks and bats, constant scraps until we feel like our spot's intact, and homie, stop dropping blacks. And what your ancestors got for that.
Beautiful. And again, if someone didn't understand or know scripture, they wouldn't know that they just got two scriptures there, which is James 2:14 and Romans 12:19. And I love that. And I also love the line that you have, faith, you know, when you said faith is dead without work. So every prayer I said got a 9 to 5 attached. I thought that was beautiful with the work and the 9 to 5 play, but also it reminded me of the Rum Nitty joint. Because you know how he says, suicide, you do the job, the whole job and the employee of the month, you know, that relationship between them, like that reminded me of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that was phenomenal. And of course,
thank you.
Oh no, that was James. And you know, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. So you know,
Lord,
beautiful,
so
beautiful.
I wanted to kind of give people a perspective where they're getting the word, but it's not sounding too preachy. It's sounding like regular conversation type stuff. So, you know, and it sounds in a way that like it feels good. You know, faith is dead without work. So any prayer I say got a 9 to 5 attached. It sounds crazy, but it's fundamentally and scripturally sound. You know what I'm saying? Like the Bible says, faith without works is dead. So I just try to save the work aspect for the ending of the phrase to tie into the 9 to 5 a little bit better. So I didn't want to get to work too fast. So faith is dead without work. So any prayer I say got a 9 to 5 attached. So faith, prayer, work, 9 to 5. It's like kind of
it's correlation. Beautiful. I love this. I even wrote here. Can you read that? What that says?
Heartfelt.
Yes, sir.
It's felt by the heart.
Hello. Okay, so then you said you end with your slogan.
Yeah, and the slogan. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the third round. One of the hardest rounds for me to write.
Come on.
The hardest rounds for me to write. Not just because time was slowly passing. I only had about 2-3 days before I had to hop on a flight. It was so much going on. I didn't feel the need to want to write. Even B-Dot said it, you know, like we were both in a space where so much was going on in our neighborhoods. We didn't feel the need to want to write and downplay our brother. But this ended up being, and I was scared for this round because the second round, because when I split the second round to a lot of people, they were saying, why is this not your third? And I put it as my second because I wanted to challenge myself to write greater for the third. and I feel like I did that with this third round.
Yeah, I think a lot of people loved your third. It's all over Twitter. Clips of round 3 is on Twitter. You know, you guys just really put on a show, man.
Yeah,
you
man.
guys really just, you took your time.
Absolutely.
There was a lot of thought into each one of your rounds.
Absolutely.
And it was just a joy to see.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's begin with round 3. Round 3, again, I love when you
out the gate, I'm scheming.
Right.
Out the gate. So I say your luck's up, friend. Jesus ain't white, so trying to tarnish what
Wait,
said.
can you what'd you say? Say it again?
Jesus ain't white. Jesus ain't white. So trying to tarnish what's set in stone is your gold, and try to adjust what blends. I don't care if you drop African or blood diamonds. With all them black jewels gone, it leads me to get Adam with uncut gems. So that's a whole jewelry type of scheme there. White diamonds. Jesus ain't white. So trying to tarnish what's set in stone is your golden. Try to adjust what blends. I don't care if you drop African, because African diamonds, or blood diamonds, with all them black jewels, either black Jews and black jewels, with all them black jewels, garnet. Garnet is in the movie Uncut Gems, but it's all, garnet is actually a gemstone as well. With all them black jewels, garnet leads me to get Adam with uncut gems. So I'm doing the whole gem scheme while still playing into the movie Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler on Netflix. Amazing movie. Amazing movie. So it's like a whole stone diamond scheme going down within the first couple of bars. Because when B's rapping and say I rep that centric ideology, he's capping. I never claimed that European title, Steve Blackman, but whatever you can do, stick to it. So Steve Blackman is a wrestler, king of wrestling bars.
Yeah, martial arts.
You know what I'm saying? You watch?
No, I actually.
You had to look it up? Oh, you looked it up. So he came out with a kendo stick. Yeah, martial artist. His gimmick was a martial artist. Steve Blackman was the only person that I've seen wrestle for the European title and never win. And the centric ideology is the Eurocentric ideology, saying that, you know, it's the whole whitewashed slavery that ran through Catholicism. So I say when B's rapping to say I rep that centric ideology, he's capping. I never claimed that European title, which is a title that was in the WWF called the European title. I never claimed that European title, Steve Blackman. But whatever you can do, stick to it, because Steve Blackman came out with a can do stick. And ain't nothing whitewashed. The pen jot different. This that African pre-Catholicism biz rock Christian. So Christianity is one of the longest lasting religious followings in Africa. And when I say pre-Catholicism, this is before it was manipulated and whitewashed to benefit man stealing, woman beating, and slavery. Bizrot is the Hebrew word for good news. So this that African pre-Catholicism Bizrot Christian. So I'm saying it's that, you know, the true essence of what Christianity is in regards to, you know, its roots being in Africa.
Now, how much do you think B. Dot learned? Did you guys have a conversation about it? I'm sure that was
it was a very enlightening situation, because I feel like I wanted to make sure that my angles and my approaches weren't anything that he's seen from the Loso battle. You know what I mean? Because they had that conversation first, but I feel like, and I said it time and time again in different interviews, me and B. Dot will have a different conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to stand true to that, and I didn't want it to be a Christianity versus comedic science. But we definitely had to touch on certain things to make it to where people are getting what they want from the battle.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Absolutely. Okay, keep going.
This that African pre-Catholicism biz rock Christian. This been my mission. The preacher's love in the ring, while my soul is banked on it. What he did spared me way before the Roman reign started. So another wrestling bar, because this is what I do, people. I'm the king of wrestling bars. I just gave y'all 2 back-to-back wrestling bars. I gave y'all 1 in the second. You need to get the Tyrese face up here. What more do you want from me? All right?
Oh Oh,
what he
God.
did spared me way before the Roman Reigns started. Roman Reigns is a wrestler in the WWE, and his signature move is the what? What, boys and girls? The spare. Yes, it is. Thank you. And what's different is the Roman reign, the Roman Empire is what kind of confused with the idea of Christianity. So what he did spare me. What Christ did on that cross spared me way before Roman Catholicism manipulated Christianity. I'm giving you lessons and wrestling moves at the same time. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I hate you. Oh my gosh.
You're welcome.
You really love wrestling.
I love it. Love it.
Oh my goodness.
Can I help you? No, I'm serious. Like, yo, like, I'm really, like, everybody has their thing. Shug used to rap about movies. You know what I'm saying?
I do too.
Ab raps about movies all the time now. Rum be rapping about guns. You know what I'm saying?
Surf got the NBA.
Surf got NBA. I could give y'all some wrestling bars. You know what I'm saying? And not be an issue. I really am the king of wrestling bars. But that's besides the point. What he did spare me way before the Roman reign started. This ain't for the faint-hearted. But in this next couple of bars was going to be the theme of breaking down the contradictions in his belief.
Okay, let's go.
So, it says, we waited 4 long years for this convo. And that's my word, Dot. So make a decision. Choose you this day whom ye shall serve, Dot. So,
here we go with some more scripture, which I absolutely love, of course, because you know I'm a sucker for the word, honey.
Talk about it.
And that's Joshua 24:15.
Come on.
Yes, choose this day whom ye shall serve.
Is your ancestral aura godly, or is it Kemetic orthodoxy? Since traffic, I wonder where your heart's indebted. But since Egypt you for the win, God, let's start with Kemet. So he battled Emerson Kennedy at Traffic in LA. And you know, you call him EK. People call Emerson Kennedy EK.
Yeah,
so I'm saying, since traffic, I wonder where your heart's indebted. So which one do we start with? Where do we start? But since Egypt you for the win, God, you call yourself a God, so he took the win from you. Since Egypt you for the win, God, let's start with Kemet. So, you know, Egyptian Kemets believe in Egyptian deities, you know what I'm saying, like that. So it was a perfect transition into the ideas of what they believe. Like the gods, the essence, the marks, the presence. It's all pretentious from a dude who's all pretentious. So just bending words again.
Yeah.
It's all pretentious from a dude who's all pretentious. So it's like, it's all how you say the word.
Yes.
You ain't never caught the lessons. Like, do you know why the 10 plagues were sent to Pharaoh for being disobedient? There was a bigger point to it. It wasn't just for all the slaves to be free again. Just reel it in real quick.
Talk Bible, sir.
We gotta give context. So God sent Moses to Pharaoh in regards to letting go of the slaves, but God knew in advance that he was going to harden Pharaoh's heart.
This is Exodus, by the way.
And he said, I'm going to do this so that they can feel my wrath. You know what I'm saying? So he understood that Pharaoh was going to be hard-headed, but he's like, you know what? It's all falling in line with what I want to do. And what's beautiful about this is going into the next line where I say there's a bigger point to make. It wasn't just for all the slaves to be free again. That was a subtle flex on every Egyptian god you believe in, right? You know, Kemet, people that follow Kemetic science, they believe in Egyptian deities, right? There's a god of water, there's a god of land, there's a god of sun, there's a god of protection, a god of health. All these different deities, right? And what's dope is my God was flexing on every single one of those deities in just like back-to-back order. So I said, let's start with Happy. That she's considered the god of the Nile. You know what I'm saying? Let's start with Happy, god of the Nile. Blood dropped into each wave. Amen Ra, your sun god. He brought darkness for 3 days. Isis, she's the health god. You know what I'm saying? Isis, she deals with health. But when boils hit, she wasn't down for your posse.
Come on, sir.
And what's funny is you battled low sword and meat. You even took some painful rounds for the body. So playing off the idea of boils and how you had to deal with, you know, the horsemen. Shouts to the horsemen. You know the vibe. Or like that. How could you stop me? And then we go into the other topic. Do your ancestors in the sky? where you tap into their aura and get the sparring. The last time Dot traced back to the stars was kindergarten. Let's end the talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know where I'm going with it. You know, 'cause in kindergarten you trace stars.
Yeah.
Right? So the last time Dot traced back to the stars was kindergarten. Let's end the talking. I understand you want to send praise to those who paved the way, but that's considered being wholeheartedly grateful. I find it odd that he praised you. Any ancestor you worship's not a god. He an angel. So like, something I'm doing now is I'm snapping my way out of certain things. So like, I'm snapping my way out of a word to a new. So I did it in the first round because if sensei vibe, I'll make it all, like.
Okay.
So any ancestor you worship's not a god. He an angel. Like God, he an angel. God, he an angel. It worked out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, here's my question.
What's up?
How much of his personal information did you know?
I only knew his name being Charles Burnley from the Loso battle. I didn't know much before that. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of this research came maybe 2-3 days before even battling. You know what I'm saying? So the whole football angle kind of came to me way late in the game. But you know, it kind of just worked out. You know what I mean? It kind of like that. When I found out everything with the football angle, it kind of just drew a whole new parallel to what I can do with that. So,
absolutely,
you know, just kind of wanted to just run with that idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it, like you said, it was perfect. Your next line hit really hard, which was the Emmett Smith and the Emmett Till line. That got like a crazy reaction.
Just drawing the whole timeline and everything. It's been revealed. Before you gave us the Kemet field, you would scrimmage drills, but lost your scholarship due to lack of your academic skills. See what his pen conceals? That's the only reason you in the field and not in the field. You went from dreams of being Emmett Smith to preaching Emmett Till. So the reason, what I thought was crazy is
that was crazy.
What I thought was crazy about that was Emmett Smith is a famous running back, which is the same position that B-Dot plays.
Wow.
So it's like you went from dreams of being a famous running back, and ironically, Emmett Smith, Emmett Till, which is like, you know, that whole correlation is crazy.
Yes, so beautifully like put together.
Yeah, it all worked out.
Okay, now here's the part where I'm really gonna have to be upset with you, and I think you know why.
Talk to me.
Because I've said plenty of times on Twitter that I am so sick of folks calling Lux out,
right,
mentioning Lux,
right,
and just overall being so Lux obsessed.
But
not saying you are.
But I didn't call out Lux.
No, you didn't call him out.
You know what I'm saying?
But the Lux comparisons.
It makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Sense.
It does. I just feel like leave that child alone.
Listen. Yo, B-Dot. Hey, real quick. Go get your plate, man. I don't care what she's talking about. Go get your plate. You want Lux on the roof? You go get Lux on the roof.
Oh my goodness.
You call Avocado. You get the right sunset like we had. You call Smack. You call Beasley. Nobs. Well, he's not really there. But listen.
Oh, snap.
You go get Lux on the roof, bro. Go get Lux on the roof. And I feel like, y'all gonna hate me for it, I feel like B-Dot could win. I feel like B-Dot can win.
You think B-Dot can do
I done
Lux?
stood in front of that. That's one of the most dangerous pens I ever stood in front of. B-Dot, go get yours, bro. You deserve it.
Wow.
We put on a classic. Go get yours. Go get yours.
Now here's the question that might be a reach, but do you think he should not battle until he see? You know how some people be like, I'm not doing nothing until I see who I want to see?
Nah.
No?
Because I feel like there's a lot of great narratives for him that could still be painted. Him versus Twerk can still happen. I would love to see him against a lot more greater punchers. Like, I want to see him versus Av. I want to see him versus a great schemer like Chilla. I know it's kind of too early for rematches, but I would love to see what him and EK would look like again with this resurgence of EK and stuff like that. Right. But go get your plate, man. Go battle Lux. Lux, come out the cave real quick.
Leave that child alone.
Lux, come out the cave real quick. Go meet my man on that roof. Can I help you? All right. Okay. I thought you said something. Yeah, go meet him at the roof. God bless you, champ.
All right. Okay.
But like what I was saying in the battle wasn't a Lux diss.
No,
I was
no, no.
saying,
Of course,
like,
yeah.
It was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the football dreams make sense to the beloved comparisons that most following, because you revere his plays, studied the formations, and thought off the snap Lux would pass you the cult following. So that's like playing into the whole football scheme, because of veer. Veer is a type of play that's used for a running back. So you revere his play. Study the formation, like football formations. Thinking off the snap. Snap is like hut hut hike.
Yeah.
Thinking off the snap that Lux would pass you the cult following, and Andrew Luck used to play for the Colts. So
Wow.
Lux would pass you the cult following.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's no tolerance. It makes sense. Even with Kemet, it makes sense on how you build with your team. You went from doing drills with cones to running pyramid schemes. 'Cause, you know, with cones, you're supposed to test your agility, run in between. Now all of a sudden you went from running through cones to running pyramids.
Right. Beautiful. Now,
Crazy.
Now, right after this, I love how you make mention of Marcus Garvey,
Yes.
Alexander. You know, all the Black enlightened thinkers. Not all, but you know, two.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love that, because you know, a lot of people that are considered Black enlightened thinkers of this day, they talk about Marcus Garvey and how Marcus Garvey influenced them. A lot of stuff was influenced by Marcus Garvey that a lot of people don't know about.
An incredible man, you know what I'm saying? And I think what drew even more the contradictions I was trying to put in the round is that Alexander Crummell and Marcus Garvey, who can be attributed to the movement of the Pan-African movement, Pan-Africanism, they were on the front line of Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's speeches, there's books, there's resources that that you can look back and they're quoted to, like, you know, attributing praise to Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they believe in the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. They believe in the Trinity. They endorse the Nicene Creed, which states that Christ died for our sins. And these are people that have kind of helped to push the Pan-African movement.
Right.
And this is something that you follow under.
Yeah.
So you follow under Kemetic science. You follow under ancestral worship. Your blood. And you follow under Pan-Africanism. But the leader of Pan-Africanism and leaders of Pan-Africanism over time were believers.
Right.
So it's like this, everything kind of contradicts, because you know, Marcus Garvey went under many of quotes to you know, endorsing the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, which is something that contradicts what you believe in other aspects. So I just wanted to draw that comparison the whole third round.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you did an awesome job there.
Thank you.
I think a lot of people learn a lot from this battle.
I would hope so.
Yeah, not just from you, but from B. Dot as well. You know, a lot of the things that you guys said, I know for a fact people went and looked it up and was like, oh, I didn't know this, I didn't know that.
Right.
Because I know I had to a few times.
Right.
Okay, so let's jump down. Okay, so you just talked about the Marcus Garvey and how he was he had a heart for Christ.
Yes.
Now jumping down to how you talk about how Christ had the quote unquote black struggle. And how, like you said, like Christ wasn't a black man. So talk a little bit about that.
You know, you said son tripping. No, this trust giving, son tripping. Trying to compare the pain he went through, like the struggle with us different. Like Christ wasn't a black man wrongfully convicted by a corrupt system. You know what I'm saying? He's experienced what we experience. You know what I'm saying? He came into flesh, and it's not like he was he could have easily, with all power in his hand, just put himself on the throne on earth and just been a royal king and just tell people to do what they. Nah, he led by example through the pain and things that he suffered and endured, and he wasn't even exempt from a corrupt system. So like, he was a black man wrongfully convicted by a corrupt system. It wasn't just prison. With the whips, they gave his backlashes, they towered. The attack lasted for hours, but he rose on the third day. Now that's black African power, like just showing all power and just showing all power in his hand over death. Yeah. And you know, and that's something that, you know, that B. Dot likes to quote. It's this, that black African power. You know what I'm saying? What's more powerful than a man rising on the third day? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that was just my way of trying to draw correlations to his slogan, to my faith.
Your faith,
Yeah.
absolutely, and you did a great job with that.
Thank you.
That was so powerful. This whole battle,
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
it was just crazy.
It's a great battle. And though we're just highlighting my stuff, B-Dot did an amazing job.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him. I can't wait. Hopefully he, come out this way sometime
Absolutely,
soon.
that needs to happen.
I don't care if I got to get that boy on Zoom.
That would be incredible.
I want to talk to him.
That would be incredible.
Okay, so jumping down, I love the, put 16s, 16s on the map like a sex offender.
Ooh.
I love that line. That was hilarious.
And that whole scenario, even going from, let me see, just to make sure I know where I'm at. Oh yeah, even after the Black African Power, I take that idea of drawing how a man of God was always needed in your journey. You know what I'm saying? Because then I draw the narrative to me and him, saying it was my debut that fed the narrative for the clout that you seek. Don't you worship Egyptian animals? Good. Then bow to a beast.
That was hard. I'm
the Jordan of your career. And I'm drawing a correlation there. I'm the Jordan of your career with a powerful speech. So if Horus grant you a plate, the goat allowed you to eat. Saying like in the documentary The Last Dance, Horace Grant spoke on, if he had a bad game, Jordan would have let him eat after the game. You know what I'm saying? So first off, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That a grown man. You a grown man, Horace.
Facts.
You a grown man. You a grown man. Learn from this. Anyway, like you a grown man, you saying another grown man told you can't eat. So I'm playing off the idea of Horus, the Egyptian god. Horus. If Horus grant you a plate, the goat allowed you. Like I made it so that you're able to eat off this. And then I went into but you best surrender. Ask Beasley if it wasn't if I ain't call you out 2014, they would have moved on to the next contender. My 16s put Dot on a map like he a sex offender. This your next agenda? Rapping on the stage with no crowd, like what you spit's appealing. I mean, you battled JC in front of the masses and missed the feeling. Every other stage they gave you flopped and resist the killing. So of course they call you rooftop Dot. You hit your ceiling. You know what I'm saying? Like every other stage you had, you failed to meet the mark. So of course you're rooftop Dot because you can't translate anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that was my way of poking at the idea of like you really confined yourself to a space. Like how would I look calling myself Small Room Saga? I'm confining my whole career to the success of a small room.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So you call yourself Rooftop Dot, and I want to play like you call yourself a Rooftop Dot. So that means you're only good on a what?
Wow.
On a rooftop. You can't translate in front of the thousands. You can't get Summer Madness and Gnome. And so that was my way of kind of attacking that idea. Like every time they gave you the ball to translate in all these other stages, you failed to meet the mark. So of course you're rooftop.
I didn't even look at it like that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Until you just broke that down. Okay, so let's jump down even further. I love how you made the correlation between his slogan and Revelation.
Oh yeah.
I felt like that was so smart and intelligent.
Oh yeah, man. That was a whole thing. It was just like, so when you spit some desecration, there's a hint of hesitation. And if these are my last days, but even your slogan was bit from Revelation. It's like the whole idea if he says, this that Black African power. And if these are your last days, and so, this is your last hour. So it's like.
And what's the book of Revelations? Yeah.
So if these are my last days, but even your slogan was bit from Revelation. It's way too shifty. I'm saying like it's way too inconsistent. Like it's way too shifty. We finally scrapped, and it's the thanks you get me. My faith moved quickly. So if this is my last hour, that gave me 60 minutes to take you with me.
Yo, your energy in round 3, like I feel like round 1 you had good energy,
Yeah,
right?
just trying. You know what I'm saying?
Round 2 it was like By the time you got to round 3,
it was there.
What?
It was there.
Bananas.
It's a whole lot of passion, a whole lot.
It was
of
like
just,
going up a notch every round.
It was just there. You know what I'm saying? Like that was one of those rounds.
Yeah.
I felt it. Like even when I said the whole Emmett Smith to Emmett Till, the crowd. You know, even though it's like the mics didn't do any justice. It was like 30-something people, probably 40 people up on that roof, and they were all going crazy.
Wow.
And I just fed off that energy, like, yo, like, we really waited 4 years for this moment. I'm gonna give you everything I got, you know, and that's just a special matchup that needed that kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? So. And
then you had a strong end with your slogan, but you kind of tweaked it a little bit.
Yeah. So instead of saying killed you in 3 rounds, I said we got a bigger fight now. So I'm just praying that your soul is right. And basically, that's just instead of me being vain, saying I killed you in 3 rounds, I'm like, yo, we got something bigger in front of us now. You know, we fighting social injustice, fighting police brutality. We're fighting for the idea that Black lives matter. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm like, yo, there's something bigger than us. We have to fight now. What we did now is over, but there's something greater than us. We still battling. So that was my way of kind of ending on a more subtle note. You know what I'm saying? So it all worked out. You know, even how me losing the coin flip worked out better because he had a chance to end the battle.
Yeah. And you know what, like you said, it all worked out because him going last and then the handshake.
It's beautiful.
And also, with the way that you tweaked your slogan, you know, you're talking about how you guys need to
come together.
Come together.
You know, it's a whole, you know, it's bigger than us now. Like that's pretty much the way I wanted to end my round on something like it's bigger than us
and
now.
And he ended similarly.
Yeah, like we kind of wanted to. I didn't want to end still like aggressive and still like coming at him. I wanted to end on something like, yo, I got all of my anger and frustration out the way in my first couple of rounds and even in my third. But as we end it, we realized that in the climate of world we're living in and the things we're dealing with, there's something much more important at hand. So I wanted to at least show levels of unity as I ended, because now that when these three rounds will just be stamped in time for history, but what they won't see is how we unify as people. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think it's dope that the way I ended my round was more subtle and he ended this round in a more unified way, and it just all worked out.
It was so perfect.
It all worked out.
It was so perfect. The scenery, the fact that the sunset.
Absolutely.
It was so beautiful.
Yeah, man. Like, it was crazy. A lot of people don't know. I overslept that day. Like, Twerk, first of all, never trust Twerk to tell you what time to be at an event. He don't even honor that. So, Twerk says, yo, yeah, man, yo, the battle, we gonna leave at 6. I said, okay, I got time to take a little nap. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking a little nap. I wake up and it's like 6:30. And this is partially my fault. My phone was on silent. And by the time I got there, every other battle was done. And I was just getting there. By the time the sun was setting, I ran up to the roof and we just immediately started going. But it made for a perfect timing because even Avocado said this was he had a set ideal time to shoot, but this time was even better because it was just coming down. There's a lot more contrast and shadowing, and it made it more of a movie. You know what I'm saying? It was so everything worked out in the long run. You know.
15 minutes of fame.
You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go.